So smart of you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry
Thank
for
you.
interrupting you. Yes. Why don't you continue?
Well, yes, so I created the first map and I need
Okay.
to make these clickable buttons. And I know you said not to design my homepage yet, but I just wanted to make my own option just in case.
Okay.
So I also designed this one.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think the first steps would just be to, I
Connect.
haven't added any
Yeah.
turtle or anything. I haven't exported anything, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think add all of this in.
Sure. Why don't you work on
Yeah,
that? Do you want us to do the connection? So the thing is, you will go to your old code. I'm going to guide you for sure, but I'm going to provide you very minimal help because I want you to start building confidence. Exactly. Perfect. So you'd have one code open and the other one to refer to. So you've done beautiful designs. I like your design. I think you're a great designer. And it looks awesome. I even want to do something to your design now that it's coming to my mind because I have this, you know, this Google VO thing, they actually now made it so that you can be able to like upload a photo and you can make the photo like come to life. You can, you know, just exactly like what you've designed right now. And then just AI adds its own like smartness to it and just does something in it that animates it to look like it's on lively. And I just want to do that for you, like personally. Of course, we can put that as a GIF, and I think that's going to be great, but I'll do it and show you. In the meantime, while I'll do that, would you mind going to your game one Replit? You've got to upload your pictures. So that's the first thing you need to do. The ones that you have on Canva, you're done with those two, right? I feel like you're done with the home and you're done with the
yeah.
second. Okay. So you know how to download it. You just go your exactly and you download. Yeah, you click the download option. Exactly, brilliant. And then you just leave it as PNG because PNGs are really good and just download it. Great. So now you're
Okay.
just gonna come back. Yeah, I want to see how you're gonna upload it because we've done this before. Did you already upload it there, right there? It seemed like it already just
Oh,
uploaded. Yeah, it already just did that.
yeah.
That's great. Okay, so you got to rename it to probably something that's a shorter name because you're gonna put in your code. And one thing,
Um,
so okay, let me let you rename it first. And one thing to remember, Sophie, is that PNG doesn't really work with Turtle. You've got to change PNG and always remember to make it a GIF. Yes, GIF. Exactly. Perfect. So you've got the homepage ready, and now you can download the second one, which is your game sort of page, which is this one, or game screen rather, right? This is kind of the one that I want to try bringing it to life and seeing what it's gonna be like. But yes, this is the perfect. Okay, great. Perfect. And then you just rename this one too. I'm actually gonna go into your code right now because I want to just while you're working, I want to get this picture to try and see how it goes. Okay, so you've got your two photos ready. So I'm assuming what would happen is that the home screen is going to be displayed first, then it's going to be connected to this screen, which is your game screen. So why don't you go and have a look at your rock paper scissors program that we did together and just be relaxed, you know, code, just look at it on your own and see what you're going to have to input or type so that you can start to show your background picture, which is your home screen. So how did we do that? We first had to import a couple of things. We had to set the size of stuff. And then if you go at the bottom of this code, Sophie, you're going to also notice that we created a function where we actually showed the background picture. So that's kind of what I want you to focus while you're looking at this. Maybe way at the bottom. I feel like it's like way at the bottom. The first function we did, like, yeah, you see, we had like that start game function, and then we had to do that clicking thing, which you're actually going to need in your case. But we had to import a couple of things. So you got to start with the beginning, then come back down here.
okay.
All right, I'm going to watch you through. I'm going to guide you through, hold your hand and stuff, but I will like you to take on the ropes this time. So you're going to be the one sort of doing the main stuff. So what do you think is going to be your first thing to do? Study it on your
I
own.
haven't finished is this called the header? Is that what
I
that's called?
I mean
Or
that's yeah, it's the headers. You are only missing you've put date, but it's usually date created. That's the only thing that's missing. Yeah, you can take that out and then date created and then there's like date modified, which is really a way to like keep track of your of your modifications, like your whole programming story, from when you, like
Yeah.
exactly like today's, exactly perfect. So maybe the other one you can just add created in front of it instead of, I know you always do date, but usually a nice thing to say, when you created and when you modified it. So yeah, perfect. And that's it. Your header is ready and now you're ready to code.
Okay, so
Okay. As you go, if I notice anything wrong or I see you're stuck anywhere, I'll guide you. But just keep going. Be relaxed and just code how you see.
okay.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember what we used import time. Oh, that was for
Mhm.
I remember now. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
You need
I
it?
guess that is something I would need, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
To control the time, because didn't we use that to control how the different pop-ups, like the
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's something actually you're going to be learning, which is really fun. And that's like how to make animations work. Like, for example, in a game, you want to make something like a loading screen, like you want to show like a loading sort of animation in a cool way. So you're going to learn in your next project that we're going to be working together after this one that you're doing, you're going to learn how to put stuff like that kind of animation. For this one, you're not expected to, but for the next one, I'll teach you how to do it. And when you do your next project, then you'll be expected to insert it. But I think you're going to really like that one. It's really good. And with the AI and stuff right now, it just makes everything, realistic, your abstraction to just come into reality, which is really nice. Yes, so import time is a good one. I like that you imported time. That's great. Do you feel that you need random at any point in time? Because random means that you're just gonna like randomly, the computer's gonna randomly pick some things. Do you think you're gonna need that maybe later
I
on?
don't think so.
Okay.
I think, yeah, everything's pretty set and decided already. So,
Okay.
mm, oops.
Nice. I like the way you're coding. You're going very well. Everything's looking good so far, which is good. Sophie, would you mind doing me a favor and could you please zoom in your screen? You know where there's that three dotted option at the top left corner on your browser? Exactly that one. Could you select the zoom in thingy? Yeah, this looks better. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah, you're going good. You just have to set something now.
I just want to see.
Yeah,
One
sure.
second. It might be easier.
Okay.
Are you able to see that still? Or I might
Yeah,
have to reshare my screen. One second.
I mean, if it's
So,
fine for you, I can see no problem. If it's okay for you, I can see really well. Now that you zoomed in, it's better.
okay. Can you see so I can have
Yeah,
both open at
sure.
the same time? Okay.
Yeah, I can see that's really good.
Still quite slow. I think it'll take me a while to
Don't worry,
start
Sophie.
typing really fast.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. Just go slow. I'm not looking here. Just do your stuff. I'm just skimming through because I'm also doing something on the screen. Just feel free. Most important thing is feel free. As you go on coding like this, you're going to get better and faster. Then remember, the objective is not to be extremely fast, but it's to know what you're doing, which is really important. And I think you're doing very well.
So for picture 1 and 2, I see
Yeah.
we use that here to use different images.
Mm-hmm.
Do I only add 1 and 2, or does it really matter like
That's a good
how
question.
many?
That's a good question, but I just want to bring your attention to we used picture 1 and 2 to add a picture to the background. But right now you want to show the background. So you don't necessarily need variables. We created these variables because we wanted to like set pictures that we want to use to be shown on the background, which was like the hand or the rock or whatever it was. But in
Oh,
your case, yeah, that's a good attempt, but in your case, you're not going to need it now. I would feel that right now what you need is to scroll down, I think, to the function that we started with, because remember we always start with a function to keep the code neat. And we did something like screen.bgpic now that you've declared what screen is. And that was how we got the whole thing going. And then we did the click thing after we set the background picture. Yeah, look at lines. Oh, can you go up? Can you look from line 169 downwards? From 169, how we created the function, how we set the background picture, and how we had like a click thing going on. That's exactly what you need right now in your code. So that whole start, that one on line 179, that is like the part like where we had another function. I think because we had from line 172 to 177 was like that click function where they would have to click something on the home screen. If you can look at line 170, you're going to see like screen.bgpic home. That was where we put the first background picture, and then we put the click function right after it. That was the def click on line 172, because they would have to click something on that home screen, which was home, and then it would lead them to screen 2, which is on line 177. So you understand like the connection. So that's kind of what you need in your program right now, because you're having a home screen and it has to go into the game screen.
so I would use this. Does this create the background?
Exactly. But
Okay.
before then, you would need that whole def, you always have to have a function, always remember, because everything needs to be neat inside of the function.
Okay.
All right, so let's see, code this. Remember, you can call your function anything you want. It doesn't have to be called one specific thing. Whatever you want to call it, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay, that's a good attempt. Good.
Um, so it could be something other than start game.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Function is just starting with def. Always starts with def, and then whatever else you want to say, that means will be the name of your function. It just has to make sense to what you're going to put inside of it. What you mean, I mean, what it's going to be doing, because every code is going to be inside that function. And you can create as many functions as you want that basically run the system or run the game. Okay, that's good.
So would I
Yeah.
start with the homepage
Yep.
first?
Okay, yeah. You
Okay.
just think like your programmer. Which one do you want to start? Which one is your system going to run? Just think about your system in your head, how it's going to flow, and then just code according to that flow. That's very good, but I would say that you're getting an error because remember, everything has to be inside of your main function. So your def click, you're putting it on the same line as your def start game, Meanwhile, it's supposed to be spaced inside. It's supposed to be on the same line as your screen. Because everything that you have in your main function, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. And do you need any space in between screen.bgpic and devclick? If you want, you don't have to make a space between them. I think we just oddly put a space there for some reason. But
Oh,
yeah, there is no need for, unless you want to put a code or something before. Yeah, that's good. That's how we create a click function. Yep. But inside of the click, we always print something so you can get the coordinates, remember?
um,
Very good. Well done. And you probably need something at the very end so that you can make and activate this click function. So you got to scroll down, look what was at the very end that sort of activated your click function. Remember, we always had to do turtle dot something and then, on the
is it
same.
on
Yeah,
screen click? Okay.
exactly. And it had to be on the same line where you created your click function. So you're not going to space it in, but you're going to space it a little bit out. Exactly. There. Very good.
Um, and why do we? It looks like we have two here because this says click two, and then there's
Exactly.
this one.
Yeah, because that was the also click is when you put a click function, it's also a function, so you don't always have to call it click. You can pretty much call it anything as well. So while we have a click and a click two is because we had one function that was def click two, and that was the one where all of these ifs are on the rock paper scissors. And then we had another one which was like the main one that was def click. So that's the reason why you have like two different ones.
Okay. And
What do you think we'll go after? Do you think it's just only turtle.onscreen click click? We normally have something that follows, right? They're always coming in like I always tell you, like in a group. What goes after it?
um, oh, is it turtle
Yeah,
listen? Or,
yeah.
okay.
Turtle listen and turtle.done. Very good. Mm-hmm. And then the last one, we don't have it there, but it's a good thing to have as well to complete the group. It's called turtle.done. That means once the computer is done listening to whatever is clicked on the screen, it moves on to the next thing. So you can add turtle.done, turtle.done. Yeah, and then just same thing with brackets and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right. So I see that your whole like function thing is ready to start like making the button work now, but you just got to do one more thing. Look at what we did on the rock paper scissors on line 215, 216. We had to call something for it to actually run.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Very good. Yeah. You can give a little bit more space for this one because you're still gonna write more code. So no, like not in like
oh,
space like downwards because you're still gonna write more code because you like a lot of code to write. So this is like the very last line that's always gonna call the function. Yeah, so it can be way at the bottom. Are you sure you've indented it well? Don't remember we always have to call the function on the same line as where we defined it. That's another rule to remember. Always exactly. Where you define the function is where you call it. Just like what you did with the turtle.onScreen click, and now what you're doing with the start game. But you do have an error on line 20. You got to fix it. So what do you think the error is? What is missing there?
Oh, um,
Turtle.done, and
um,
then it's usually something after.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. All right. And so the last part of this one, and then you can test your program and you know how to get your coordinates. Okay, you might want to, yeah.
Yeah.
hmm And you might be checking your console so that you, yeah, so that you can get like the coordinates showing. Oh, if you want to do the split screen thing, you gotta draw, yeah, and you gotta drag your console to the other exactly so that you can see simultaneously.
Um,
Yeah, that's very good. That's good. I think that's great.
okay.
Very good. Well done. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. All right. So remember what you do to your coordinates. Like sort of like line 184-ish there, those if statements. Remember, we do something with
Yeah.
the, yeah. So you're gonna have to write them. Look where you're putting them though. Are you putting them there at the end or inside of the click function? Look at where they are very well. Where are you supposed to place the ifs?
Um, I think inside,
Yep,
right?
yes, inside, always inside. Right, yeah, exactly there. Yeah, that's perfect. It was right underneath the print, and you'd start with the if, and then let me just give you a little hint here. We always had to look at all the numbers on the left side because all those numbers represented the x coordinate. Of course, you have to exclude the first one that you got, which was -424 and 128. You gotta exclude that one because that one was like when you were clicking the screen, and so randomly it just popped up. But when you actually click the top two edges of the bottom and the bottom two edges of the button, sorry, you got these coordinates, which are -88, 86, 87, -88. So from these left coordinates, you've got to always take your smallest and your largest, remember, and those always represent your x coordinates. And then you do the same thing for the ones on the right side, and those represent your y coordinates. And then you just put it as an if statement. And you always have to start with if x greater than, you start with the smallest, like a range, and you go from there. Yeah, good start. Yeah, keep going. You got to take your smallest and then x less than your largest.
Um,
Yeah.
should I test it now or?
Well, now you specified the if statement, so you're gonna have to tell the computer what happens once they click on this button that exists on your home screen. So what's supposed to happen once they click on the button on your home screen? So again, you're gonna bring in your head the whole flow of your, game, how it's gonna work. Once they click on this button, where does it take them?
It
Oh,
would be the map next.
okay,
So
so that means you've got to do something to clear the screen and then open that picture. So how do we clear the screen and then put in a new background picture, which is going to be this
is
one? Yeah,
screen got clear?
yep, but is that where you're supposed to put it? Remember how if statements are? Things need to be spaced in. Yeah, see, gotta space it a little bit more in to your if statement. Yeah, like that is good. Okay, very good. And then what comes after screen dot clear? So screen dot clear essentially meaning deleting what is showing presently and ready to open. Right, right, right. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there? I'm trying. I don't know what to do next. Do I run it now or?
Yeah, yeah. When you finish, like when you've done this part, like all what you have to do, Sophie, is always remember when you get to a certain, like as a programmer, you're gonna start thinking like this. Okay, so in the beginning, this is how my game is gonna go. Then this is what I have. Like based on what you have, you think in that way. So these are the two pictures I have. So right now I have to show this picture, then it goes to the next one. And then you code it. And once you code that sequence, then you run it and see how it works. Then you prepare coding the next sequence. So once you're done, I think this is all you have so far, then you just run it and see how everything works. Just make it look big so that you can really see the game view really well. Yeah, that's perfect. And then, run it and see. Perfect.
Oh,
See? Yeah, see? So far, this is what you've coded. And the good thing is you have these really nice arrows that go back and go, backwards, like returns back to the home. I believe that's what it does. I'm not sure what you're gonna make of it. The back arrow, and then you have the front arrow, which is that gonna go like somewhere, like the yellow arrows?
yeah. I think either it will take you to the home page, one of them, or it'll take you to a different area with. I'm currently drawing the rest of them, like the
Sure.
forest and the ocean.
Okay,
So yeah.
brilliant. That's cool. That's so cool. The good thing is you're so lucky. You know why I say that? Is because you're good in design and you're going to be good in programming. That's like a plus plus, and that's what really is needed like now with these job problems in the tech field. I mean, because of the AI era, it's not enough to just be a coder, and I said this before, I'm sure. It's you have to have skill like this, like design and stuff. That's what makes you stand out, and you're good in design, and that's really good. That's really cool. So you can design your whole like software and you can like communicate with clients in the future or near future and be like, find out what they need in their system and you design it and you go back and forth until you finally like create this software or system for them. And that's a plus plus. That's what companies are looking for. Someone that's multifaceted, not just, one skill and one thing. I can just code and that's it. I mean, you're not going to really get any job or thrive at least in the AI era. It's going to be hard. But yeah, this is great. Okay, so now, Sophie, you're going to be asking yourself, now that everything works, what's the next thing on this whole sequence? Do you get to make these buttons clickable, or do you want to design something first and then get to make them clickable to connect? Or do you want to print something or do you want to pop up something? So I'm assuming that you're going to use pop ups in this game because you've learned how to create pop up messages. And I think in the game it will be really fun at some point So what is your next step? What do you want to do next from here?
I think to make these buttons clickable,
Sure.
and then once I actually design the new screens, then I
Yeah.
can add them probably next class. But
Or maybe this
yeah,
class, because I don't think it's going to take you too long to make these buttons. I mean, clickable. You could start designing them this class. So
okay,
yeah,
yeah, I can do that.
because I don't think you're gonna spend too much on the buttons. All right, so I'm gonna leave this entirely to you. You now know how to make things clickable, so you decide what's gonna happen after screen.bg pick map.gif. What is the next thing you're gonna do to make them clickable? Remember how we make stuff clickable?
Yeah.
Sort of what you just did exactly now. There, are you sure? You gotta go with the flow. Remember, you started screen.bg pick and you have to go after that, not before it, because you're showing the background picture, then what are you gonna do?
Oh, right. Okay.
Hmm. Remember, you can do as many click functions as you need to. So that's gonna
Yeah,
be,
I see here. It looks like I did more than one.
yeah, because you gotta make things where necessary clickable if you need to. So that means you can do, and be careful where you're typing it. Remember, you've got to follow the indentation thingy, the lining of making sure everything stays on the same place. Don't go out, track it where the code is all like in a line. And that's like because you're following it after. You're going after this, and so everything goes in indentation. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have to ask again. Do you need that space in between lines 20 to 22? Do you need a space? Yeah. If no need, then yeah, you can take it back. Okay. You also don't necessarily need a space between X and Y, just letting you know. You can make them together. That's also fine if you want.
Hmm. Oh, where did? Oh, something happened. Oh no.
What happened?
Um, I don't know where my code went. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I did something wrong because it wasn't printing the coordinates. Um,
Okay. Do you remember what you got to do to like end this whole click thingy at the very end?
oh, do I have to do that do I have to write this
Yeah.
again?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because this is an entirely, oh, and you have it written twice, by the way. Can you take out line 27? Because you only need it once for each function. So you have it on line 27. You've like turtle dot on screen click, then turtle dot, yeah, just one time. Now, remember, anytime you have a click function, you kind of have to do it for each click function, because if you want the click function to work, you got to always put those last 3 lines at the end. And nope, take note of the indentation again. Remember, they always have to be on the same line where you create the function, where you defined it. So the indentation, spacing again. Yeah, there. That's where you define the click function.
And can they be named the same, or should I change it?
Yeah, it's a good idea
Like,
to change the name. Yeah, it's a better idea because this is an entirely different function. So it's better to change the name to something else, make it distinct. So if you change the name here, you got to go and change it where you defined it too. So it has to correspond. The names on line 16, yeah, 21. I think that's the one where you defined it. Yeah, great. And then you've got to add the 2 more lines to finish it off. Remember turtle dot on screen click and then something something else. Turtle dot and then
is it turtle.listen again?
yep. You got to repeat all
Okay.
those time every single time you've created a function like this. You've got to always repeat that turtle dot on screen click and then turtle dot listen and then turtle dot done. Okay, Sophie, could you give me like 2, 3 minutes? I'll be right back. But remember, the next thing is just to get like run it and get the clicky thing so you can put the ifs. I'm coming right back while you're doing
Okay.
this. Yeah. I'm getting a call now. Yes. Hi, Sophie. I'm back. Sophie, can you hear me? Hello?
Uh, Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? I'm back.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Uh,
How's it going so far, Sophie?
I just finished
The
only one button, so it's taking me a while to type it out, but
No problem. The most important thing, do you understand like the whole flow though so far? Everything's okay in terms of like your understanding of what goes next and comes after?
yeah, I had a problem with indentation, but I was able to figure it out, so I think I'm
Good.
starting to get a feel for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. That's nice. I like it. Yes, it looks good so far, but now you just have to specify what goes after this. Now, if you don't have the picture or whatever that comes after once this button is clicked, that to show it right now, what you can do to avoid any errors until you like get your photos ready, but have these buttons clickable, is you can just put an empty print. You can just print something saying Redwood Forest so that you know that this button is actually working. So that's what you do until you have like the next photo or next scene ready, then you can like remove the printing and connect it to that scene. But in the meantime, I guess you don't have it ready, so you can just print something in quotation mark for whatever this button represents so that you know it's working when you test it.
I think I just tried to do that and it didn't print anything, so
I think because
um
it's missing, line 24 seems empty. You got to type it on line 24.
well, yeah.
Very good. And then exactly there. So what are you going to print? What button is this? Is this Redwood Forest or is it Pacific Ocean or? Okay, and then now you can, oh, the thing is you gotta space it in. You notice it's giving you that red line. No, you gotta pay attention to the errors there. Which means, Sophie, for some reason your turtle.onscreen click have spaced in all of a sudden. But remember, they are all supposed to be on the same line as where you defined your function. Yeah, so you can do shift and tab. Yeah, do what you did and use shift tab so you can space them all at once to where they need to be. Yeah, again, that's not where they're supposed to be. Remember, always on the same line. Yes, on the same line where you define the function. Okay, now you
That's how I
notice.
had it. Oh, sorry. It was giving me an error code for some reason on this turtle. It said there was an indentation issue.
Oh,
And
uh
yeah,
maybe that was because it was slightly in, maybe because if it was on the same line, it wouldn't have done that. But maybe because it was slightly in underneath the if, and that was probably why. But now when you don't see any red line, it means everything looks good. So, oh, just always remember when you have functions, if you want to call them, you've got to call them on the same line. If you have a click function, it's got to have those last three things on the same line. And if you want to put anything in the function, they've got to be spaced in. So these rules, you're going to get used to them as you code more and more. You're always going to remember it, and that's going to help at least reduce the kind of potential errors that you can get. So at this point, you can test it, see if the button works with your coordinates, and if they're working, that means you're going to do the next button. Yeah, great. Well done. Okay.
oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
works. Perfect. So now you're going to do the remaining ones so you have them all ready. So what you got to do, why don't you make your code screen wider so you can see this much better? And then this means you're just going to do like what you've done in the rock, paper, scissors. Look at what you did. You had so many ifs and look at how you placed them. You had a lot of ifs, which means a lot of clicks inside of the function. So just follow in the same pattern. Remember, you had the first one that says you chose rock, then you chose scissors. It's kind of the same thing as what you're going to do now. You got to go and get your coordinates for the button you want, and then you just got to put your ifs again. Great, well done. Great, perfect. Good job.
So the next one
Where did you put them? And
would
very good.
um, would it be inside this one as well, or
On the same. Look at how you did the one for the rock, paper, scissors. It's always going to be on the same. You're going to start it on the same. Yeah, perfect. On the
Okay.
same line.
Okay, I did two now.
Very good. Is there any other thing? I feel like you have one on Rocky Mountain or something like that, and you have like another one in the stream or in the river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's about four more.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good job, Sophie. Well done. So far, so good. Great. And you're right on track because after this last one, then you can test it and then we can end it for today. And then you just work on getting your screens ready for next time so you can make the connections and establish how the game's going to flow. So that's really good. Well done.
Oops. Yes. So
Sophie, don't you have
I
mountains on line 32 or is this?
oh
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sophie. You wanted to say something. Yeah.
Um. Oh, just that. Obviously, I will be working on this until the next class. Like, I can
Yeah.
continue to add stuff, and okay.
Yeah, because I want you to work on the design and just establish in your head again, go over your game one more time, the flow, how it's going to work. When you have the next screen ready, then maybe you're going to have these question marks, like we said, for mysterious objects in whatever section of the map they chose. And then they get to start, like, deciding what the mysterious object, how that pop-up is going to work out. Just make it very playful, and I'm sure you're going to do with design. Yeah, I like the fact that you're putting hashtags on the print. That's good. So you don't get to see the coordinates anymore.
Oops.
Yeah, very good. Nice. All right, great. And you're testing all of them now? Great.
Okay.
They all work, right? Great. Well done.
Yes.
All right. And then maybe you can do the arrow one when you decide like what the arrows are going to be redirecting to. That's also going to be part of your flow. So yeah, the planning, I'm going to leave that for you to do.